session 3 of Worldview. And so the last 2 days we've talked about the worldview that is the religious one and the worldview that is the political one. Both these worldviews are very much influenced by fear of man. The religious worldview focuses on the outward obedience to God's law, and it's very much about being seen to do the right thing. Jesus' disparaging of the Pharisees often referred to how they liked the chief seats in the synagogue, how they liked to be seen for their long and flowery prayers, how they paraded themselves and the way they would dress. Outward religion is seeking the approval of others, but God's not impressed. Political worldview is we satisfy what people want. A great example of this, of course, is Pilate, who found no fault in Jesus and didn't want to send him to crucifixion, but he bowed to the pressure of the crowd who were threatening to dob on him to Caesar. With elections coming up, we can see what the politicians promise, things that'll make them popular, not necessarily what's good for the country. Jesus puts an alternative to the disciples, and he first says, "Don't you see yet? Haven't you got it yet?" Well, what haven't they got? They'd just seen him feed 4,000 people on 7 loaves of bread. They had previously seen him feed 5,000 people, and was 5,000 plus, on 5 loaves and 2 fish. Now they're worried they haven't got enough bread. Surely their experience of what Jesus could do would enable them to trust that whatever the situation was, it would be enough. It's actually something that we do very easily. We may see, or we may have seen, God provide for us in some amazing way in the past, but then when the next difficult issue comes, we just start to worry. How's it going to be resolved? When God does something miraculous, it isn't just to solve the current situation. It's actually to show us his nature. It should build up our faith to believe that the next time, and even start thinking differently about God. Jesus said to his disciples in Mark 8:19, "Don't you remember? When I broke the 5 loaves for the 5,000, how many basketfuls of pieces did you pick up?" And they remembered that there were 12. And then he asked them about the time he'd fed the 4,000, how many baskets there? And they said, yes, there were 7. And so he reminded them the miraculous things that they themselves had been a part of, and says, still, don't you get it? In any situation, it really is good to take stock of what God has done in the past, because God does not change. It doesn't have to be things that are actually in our past, although that probably has more effect on our lives, but just things that we've read about him, what he did in the Old Testament times, the things that Jesus did, the fact that the Holy Spirit is with us now and he is the presence of Jesus with us now. God's nature does not change. What he did in the past, he can do now. And that's the mindset or the worldview that we need to have.